Evan Fitzpatrick has a freaking goal? That's right, Evan Fitzpatrick is the 15th goalie in NHL history to register a National Hockey League goal. Look at that, he had a goal last year with Nashville. The goal wasn't with Quebec, but it's still very noteworthy. Thanks for pointing that out. Legend! What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to your Quebec Nordiques franchise mode. And in the last video, we got a bunch of simulation done and we ended up making some trades. I think that with the trades that we were going to make, it would have been great if Minnesota would have maybe worked with us a little bit and we would have ended up getting Luke Hughes, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Minnesota didn't want to budge on their young stud up-and-coming defenseman. He'll always be the one that got away. Always be the one that got away. He was the one that I wanted, and he's having an insane year. 33 points in 49 games as a defenseman in Iowa in the American Hockey League. He is going to be a stud. 13 goals already. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It just wasn't meant to be. We ended up making a couple trades, ended up getting a couple of picks. We ended up getting a decent prospect as well in Zach Stringer, who is almost a goal per game in the Western Hockey League with the Lethbridge Hurricanes. So not bad at all. 54 points in 33 games. He is going to make a big jump into the AHL for next year. Hopefully Arthur Kaliev's going to be ready for next year in the big leagues. We ended up making a few more moves. We went to Carolina and we ended up snagging an extra first round pick. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy Nick Butstad. Now in this video, we are going to be getting the entire year done, doing a little bit of a season recap here, check all of the player stats, all that good stuff. But we got some comments to go over, and the first one comes from Tyler Moore. He says, keep an eye on Raymond. He hasn't grown much since you drafted him. If he doesn't grow by the end of this year, you should trade him. Now the thing is, I think people forget he's only 20 years old. And yes, I know this is his his third year pro, and he's probably going to have a career year. 15 goals as a 20-year-old in the NHL is not bad. He had no time in the American Hockey League. He jumped right into the big club, so I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt. However, I would love to see him at an 84, 85 overall. The plan is for Malkin to, that's basically why I got Malkin, is because Lucas Raymond just wasn't quite ready for top 6. If he's 83 overall, I will not hesitate to do this, and boom, Lucas Raymond is now a top 6 winger. So I appreciate the concern, and deep down I do feel some concern with Lucas Raymond, but I'm feeling optimistic. The guy has 15 goals, 50 games in. I'm feeling good about Lucas Raymond for now. Now Vlad, he had a comment that made me laugh. He said, it's episode 15, it's time to trade Adam Larsson for a first that ends up being a lottery pick. And yes, that's very true. It has happened quite a few times. Adam Larsson seems to be our good luck charm, and I don't plan on trading Adam Larsson just yet, but when I do, you know that's going to be a lottery pick. Idle as God says you should check on Igor Chibrikov. He's the 6'7" unit you drafted a couple years ago, and I was hoping for big things. However, I mean, he is big. I guess we're hoping for big things. He is a big dude, 6'7", a defensive defenseman. He's growing okay, 71 overall. I mean, I didn't really expect him to be anything crazy, but his first year pro, he's a +7. It's good for what it is. He is getting top 4 minutes in the AHL, so maybe he grows, maybe he's a late bloomer, but 6'1", 203. I mean, for that height, he's kind of skinny, but there's your update on Chibrikov. Alexi, he says, do your best to keep Ryan, which I think he meant Tynan. Tynan and Askarov. It's super rare that you get to see someone use a sick goalie tandem, and it's not just a starter and a backup. I think it would be really cool if you set up a sick goalie tandem for the franchise, which you've never really had before. And that's the plan. That was the plan until EA decided to screw me, and then they decided to send Tynan back down to the CHL, which makes absolutely zero sense. But Askarov and Fitzpatrick are the goaltenders for right now. Fitzpatrick has a goal, so that's a fun fact. But Askarov is definitely taking the reins as the starter. He's 23-12. He's ready ready. He's definitely ready to be the starter, and he's proving it. 21-12. I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. The plan is to have, obviously, Tucker Tynan and Askarov, but I guess we've got to wait one more year thanks to EA Sports NHL. So that's the plan for the future. And speaking about the future, let's talk about our coach. We had a little brief conversation about him at the end of last episode. Let's talk about Mr. Maurice Belanger. Yoshi YouTube says, I've had Nathan Tucker as my coach before. He's a very good coach and led my team to 3 Stanley Cups. Now, I don't know if it's the same in every franchise mode. I assume they're just randomly generated, but I mean, if you happen to get the same coach, that's pretty cool. And the fact that he was really good for you is awesome. But 58% team fit to, I believe, what Nathan Tucker is 63. It's not a lot, but you guys in the comments said it does make a big difference. I just want to quickly give a shout out to Brian because he left me an absolute novel, and I do appreciate it, but we're going to look at it in the off season. So we're going to come back to that comment because it has a lot of goodies, and we're going to utilize that in the off season. All right, so now that all the comments are gone through, everyone's good to go, let's just Philip DeFranco it and jump right into it. So we're going to go all the way up to the trade deadline here. Again, it's kind of been the storyline of this franchise mode. I don't think we're going to make any moves at the trade deadline. It's no secret that our coach is kind of on a short leash here. Anything less than the Eastern Conference Final is a failure this year, and I think that should be our cutting point for the coach. If we don't reach the Eastern Conference Final, I think we should move on. And even if we do, I still don't know if Maurice Belanger is going to be around for next year. We get offered Robin Lehner and a first. Now, we don't need Lehner. I'd like the first, but I don't think we're going to sacrifice Philip. Don't know how to say his name. Brady Shea for Sammy Blais. No, thank you. There should be a decent amount of trade offers this month up against Winnipeg. They have a terrible record. You got to get those 2 easy points. And there's a big win in overtime. We did give them the extra point. Up against Tampa, that's a really, really good team, and we beat them. A couple of prospects for Josh Bailey. No, thank you. We beat Tampa, and they are miles ahead of everyone in our own division. Conor Lockhart. So again, prospects for just aging players. Corey Crawford and Travis Hamonic. No, thank you. Let's get the year done. Let's move on into the postseason. If we continue to play the way we're playing right now, ooh, nasty Nas for Ryan O'Reilly. That's a big move. Now, obviously, not super interested in parting ways with Nasty Nas. He's the future. He's also a bit of a goon, 120 penalty minutes, but he's having himself a pretty decent sophomore season here. He's got 18 points in 55 games. I think Nasty Nas is never going to be that 60-point defenseman, but I think he's going to be really, really steady back there, and I really don't want to trade him at all, so I'm going to reject this trade. We have no room for Ryan O'Reilly. Yes, he's absolutely nasty, but I really don't need a Ryan O'Reilly on my hockey team right now. I'm going to say no. As the wins continue, we've only lost once this month. Adam Fox for a second and a prospect. I need a player coming back. We're going to say no. Can we keep the W's rolling here? There's another win. Looks like it's a trade like every single day. A first for Jesper Bratt and Adam Lowry. No, thank you. Let's see some more W's here. Keep it going against the Blues. And there's the xTech Jinx. Brady Shea. I don't need it. No, thank you. Adam Fox for Jeff Carter. The trades are ridiculous. They are pouring in. 35, 20, and 3. We got a trade. Chicago trades Santini. Now, if you remember Santini, what a time. He was a guy we had in our franchise mode with the New Jersey Devils. It was a brief little franchise mode. He didn't score for what felt like an eternity. It was literally like 3 or 4 seasons. He didn't have a goal. And I think the one goal he did have was in the postseason, and it was just a wild time. Sammy Blais for Jacob Markstrom. No, thank you. What are these GMs thinking? Again, of course, I'll have a look around and see if there's anything. Oh, baby, we got a blockbuster. Will Nye, the hockey guy, goes to New Jersey for Antti Ranta and 2 seconds. Okay, Toronto. First of all, I have a couple questions. How dare you? Second off, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? What? I am confusion. Antti Ranta is like 32 years old, is he not? I gotta have a look at this, but Jonas Donskoy for Hampus Lindholm and Quinn, no thank you. Another W, rack it up. I mean, doesn't Toronto already have Okay, I guess Marc-Andre Fleury is coming to the end of his career. Yeah, Ranta's 33, and he's having an absolutely terrible year. 12 and 28. Why would you give up, like, William Nylander probably is, what, 27? 27 years old? I guess Bracco is kind of ready for the second line wing, and now you move Kadri to the wing? That's just a god-awful trade. That makes no sense for your franchise. I mean, that really helps out the New Jersey Devils. Heischer, Hall. I'd put William Nylander on the first line, but that's just me. Yeah, interesting. Taylor Hall, Arizona Coyote legend. That has to be the dumbest trade I've seen in franchise mode in a long time. You trade Antti Ranta for William Nylander? Okay, sure, let's go with that. All right, so let's continue with the wins here, hopefully. Okay, so the Canucks want Jake Virtanen back. A couple of prospects, it looks like. We got Hodges. He is a 19-year-old, 69 nice overall centerman. And then Myers, not Tyler Myers. He's basically a nothing player for 2 roster players. Nice try, Jim Benning, you sneaky snake, you. No, thank you. Ooh, another big move here. Adam Henrique goes to Minnesota, and the Islanders get PK Subban. So players are moving around from their original teams, and they're going on to other teams here. PK goes to the Islanders. That's interesting. Another move. Oh my god, the trades. Jesus. We've only lost twice this month, actually. Mika Zibanejad to Arizona. Holy. They get Sjugren and a first. The big trades are happening. But we have put a beating on the month of February. We are on fire, only losing 3 times. And another move. Oh my god. The Rangers trade Brady Shea and Georgiev for William Nylander. New Jersey gives up way too much for William Nylander, considering what Toronto got for him. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. So William Nylander goes from Toronto to New Jersey for Antti Ranta, and then goes across the water from New Jersey to New York for Brady Shea and Georgiev. Okay, sure. I guess the Rangers traded Mika Zibanejad, and then they're like, shit, I guess we need another top 6 winger. And there he is with William Nylander. Interesting AI, that's for sure. Very interesting. But like I said, we put the beating on the month of February, headed into March here, and the wins keep coming. Kevin Fiala for Trevor Van Riemsdyk and a pick. That seemed like it was the month that was never going to end. Just endless trades, endless bullshit trades that we were not interested in. Victor Arvidsson goes from Nashville to Winnipeg. Okay, there you go. Another big move. Holy. Stop the trades. And William Nylander gets traded again. What the hell? William Nylander, over the course of 2 weeks, has been traded 3 times. Toronto, New Jersey, New York, to Boston. Oh my god. I hope he didn't buy a house anywhere or even unpack a suitcase. Poor guy. Jesus Christ. William Nylander. Enough with the trades. Okay, Jesus, here we are. We are currently 39 at 21 and 3 up against the Flyers, who have 85 points, so they are killing it. This is the last chance for us to make any moves, and what are we going to do? Conrad Stastny leading the way, things you absolutely love to see. Seriously, I just don't understand this William Nylander thing. Like, I want to see. It's just, I really don't understand this William Nylander thing. That's so weird. He had 3 points in 3 games with New Jersey, but I mean, a -5. He didn't even play a game for the Rangers before they shipped him off to Boston. What a weird trade tree. His hockey DB trade tree is going to be weird. Okay, there you go. A -5 in 3 games, and they said that was enough. Off to New York, and New York was like, who? We don't want you. Go to Boston. There you go. And the Bruins get even more stacked, so there you go. So with just under 20 games left in the regular season, here is how everything is looking. Matty Barzal, Evgeny Gino Malkin, and Conrad Stastny all over a point per game. Jesper Bratt also a point per game, 63 points in 63 games. Philip, don't know how to say his name, and Sammy Blais, they're up there 49 and 46 respectively. But there's Lucas Raymond closing in on the 20-goal plateau. I'm hoping he starts to grow. I'm really hoping. I'm playing him in his correct position. I'm playing him where he's supposed to be playing. wing. I have high hopes for him. He's actually turned it around. He's now a +10. That's awesome. Nick Suzuki, 28 points. Jake Virtanen got 24. Nasty Nas with 21. That's a career year. Everyone's doing pretty good. I don't think we need to make a move. I mean, our bottom guys, they're not here to score goals. They're here to kill penalties, and I'm pretty happy with everything, honestly. As for goaltenders, Askarov, 31-16. Evan Fitzpatrick is 8-6. There's really no need to make a move. Everyone and their grandma made a trade during the trade deadline week, but we're playing good hockey, 39-21-3. I don't see a need to make a move, so let's just go ahead and continue on with the simulation here. Get a couple of slow sim games in just for fun, because I feel like this video might be a little bit shorter. Unfortunately, we don't have any games against the Montreal Canadiens. Actually, we do. The second last game of the season is a game against the Habs, where we can potentially tie up the all-time record here. We're currently 4-5 after a big win in the last game, but we lost 7-1 there against the Flyers. That's a yikes. Going in up against the Toronto Maple Leafs, period number 1 in Toronto. It's not called the ACC anymore, but I'm still going to call it the ACC. That's what it was growing up for me, and I'm sticking to it. Period number 2. We're out shooting them like crazy, and there's a big goal from Jake Virtanen on Antti-Ranta that you traded for William Nylander, you idiots. We are just dominating them in the shot department here, but I'd love an insurance marker. I'd love an insurance marker. That's not what I meant, Austin Matthews. There you go, Evgeny Malkin. He's like, that's what you meant in Russian. Scores a huge goal on Antti-Ranta, making it 2-1. Now it's time for an insurance marker. He knows insurance. He can sell you insurance. He scores an insurance marker. 2 goals for Gino, 2 goals for Jake Virtanen, and we beat the Maple Leafs. That is a absolutely beautiful sight. I really didn't expect Evgeny Malkin to be as good as he is. I know he's nasty, but he's like 36 years old. He's still putting up really good totals here, and talking about putting up good totals, the wins keep coming. So many W's, and there's hopefully a win against Carolina. Nope, there's the xTech jinx. How is Carolina doing, actually? Since we do have their first round pick, it's going to be a pretty good first round pick, very similar to ours, so there's that. Up against Pittsburgh, and then we'll slow sim the game against Vegas. I wouldn't mind going into a little shootout here after we lost 3 straight. We've only gotten 1 point out of a possible 6 in our last 3, so hopefully we can turn it around here against Agent C and Alexander Ovechkin. They don't have a very good record despite their insane team. I know they have Yager, Ovi, Agent C, they have Alexis Lafreniere, Mark Stone, Jonathan Marchessault, the list goes on and on. Going into Vegas here, the T-Mobile Arena, period number 1, and it is 1-1. Adam Lowry, a shorthanded goal, things you love to see, and Alexis Lafreniere going into period number 2. All right, still tied up at 1. We've climbed back in the shot department here. Jesper freaking Bratt scores on Malcolm Subban. What a find this kid has been, and he's making like $1 million. What a score. Thank you very much. Jesper Bratt makes it 2-1. Time to call up Evgeny Malkin, sell us some insurance. Okay, not Trevor Yager. He gets a goal, and then Mark Stone comes right back. You can't lose to this team. You can't lose 4 straight, and we're going to lose 4 straight. Two quick goals in succession, and that was too little too late for us. We couldn't climb back in the last couple minutes. That's all right. We can afford to lose a couple games here. We are definitely a lock for the playoffs. That's for sure. We'll slow sim a couple more games here. I got 2 more on my mind before we head into the little season wrap up here. That's another loss. That's 5 straight. Come on, Florida. There you go. We end up breaking the losing streak. Thank God. And then a couple wins back to back. Can we hit 50 here? 47, 48, 49, 50. So we can only lose 2 of our next 5. I think that's very doable here for a 50-win season. That would be our second 50-win season in franchise history. Going back to the old Quebec Nordiques Bible here, we hit 50 wins in year number 2. All right, once again, thank you very much, Long Island, for Matthew Barzell. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying Ryan McDonough and whatever the hell else we gave you. Period number 1, and it's 2-0. Okay, Josh Hosang and Lucas Yager. We started our backup, which is understandable against a poor team, but 2 goals on 6 shots. Period number 2. Can we get back into this? There you go, boys. Nick Suzuki and Adam Fox. Michael Dalgol, I remember you. He scores a goal, making it 3-2. Hopefully we can get back into this here, tie it up, go into overtime, or Anders Lee's going to score on Evans Fitzpatrick. Unfortunately, I mean, there's still a lot of hockey left. If Evgeny Malkin can get a goal, Gino, someone, Conrad, anyone want to step up in the third period? All right, there's another loss, unfortunately. But again, like I just mentioned, we can afford to lose a few here because we were so dominant, especially in the month of February. We were killing it. And there goes our dream of 50 wins after we lost to the Washington Capitals. We have an all-time record of 4-5. We're going to let the simulation do the work here, times 8 the entire time. We need to tie this up. And Evgeny Malkin scores on Carey Price, but Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and then Jordan Staal. Okay, so goals less than 30 seconds apart. Evgeny Malkin, have yourself a period. 2 goals on 5 shots. Conrad Stastny, there you go, a big power play goal. This one could be a wild one. I'd love a little overtime or a shootout action here. Going into the second period, what a wild first. 5 goals in the first. I think that was 4 goals within the first 5 or 6 minutes. That was a wild period. There's a hat trick for Evgeny Gino Malkin. He's old. He's got that old man strength. Doesn't bother him. He comes through with a hattie in game number 81. Zach Hyman cuts the lead to 1. This is definitely an exciting game. You are getting your money's worth buying your ticket to the Poutine Place tonight. 4-3 here going into the third. Come on, boys. Hold the lead. Do I smell 4 for Evgeny Malkin? Jesper Bratt says, all right, I'll take one for you. He scores a big goal on the first line. He's found a nice home there. 31-26 are the shots. Do you smell that? Do you just take a big whiff? Do you know what that is? That is the smell of a tied up all-time record. 5-5, baby. Put it on the board. We're still trailing them in goals scored, but we have beat them in back-to-back games. Things you love to see. That was a huge game for Evgeny Malkin. 4 points on the night. Morgan Riley had 2 helpers. Conrad had a goal, but he laid the body with 5 hits. Come on, give me an overtime game. Give me a shootout game. I need to go into some slow simming here up against the Winnipeg Jets. We didn't hit 50 wins. How about 49? Came so close, 1 win. We obviously clinched a playoff spot here. They have a terrible record. Should be, and I say should be with an asterisk because, well, xTech jinx, should be an easy game here up against a poor Winnipeg team. Period number 1. Game number 82 ended off on a high note, and that's it. There it is. The xTech jinx, baby. That's all it is. We started Fitzpatrick for the second game straight. I mean, I guess rest your starting goalie. It makes sense, but there's the xTech jinx. If you ever wanted to know if it was real, well, it definitely is. All right, game 82. Let's get this thing over with. Period number 2. 5-0 going into the third. Okay, we're never going to talk about... Burn the tape! Burn the tape! All right, that definitely did not just happen. What are you talking about? I have no idea. Who are you? How'd you get in here? Let's go into the postseason here. Who do we have in round number 1? Give me a new face here, a team we haven't played before. The Ottawa Senators. All right, baby, let's go. Up against Ottawa. The travel time is going to be basically nothing. And, oh boy, I'm thinking... Fresh in my mind, I think, oh, Ottawa, they're not that great. But they have Bo Alfredson. They got someone you may have heard of, Valery Chubby Chubasov. It's definitely not going to be an easy series, that's for sure. Here is the points for the regular season. Evgeny Malkin came so close to a 100-point season. He had 98, playing on the second line, might I add, which is pretty remarkable. Conrad there, 92. That's awesome. Didn't quite hit the century mark, but it's all good. He did it in year number 2, had 71 goals, but he's back in the 50-goal club. That's awesome. 200 penalty minutes. Guy is an absolute goon. You love to see it. Matty Barzal, a point per game, which has basically been what he's been doing ever since he came over to the squad. 25-26, 92-82, 91-82, 82-82. Just super, super steady. He's the man. Big fan of Matthew Barzal. Huge year for the kid. Jesper Bratt, 72 points. Now he's going to look to get paid. That is a career year. He's up to an 86 overall. Yeah, he's going to look to make some bank because he is on an expiring contract. So you definitely got to watch out for that. Philip, don't know how to say his name, 60 points, fantastic, he's steady, love this guy, absolute beauty on the second line. Sammy Blais, exact same thing, that's pretty awesome. I mean, for your top 6 to get all over 60 points, it's pretty damn impressive. Morgan Riley with 54, another fantastic year. Lucas Raymond with 38, that's awesome to see. He's still not growing, he is 21, still at an 82 overall, but we know he can score 20 goals in this league. Maybe he just needs his chance. Maybe he just needs to play top 6 minutes. Nick Suzuki with 36 points, that's awesome, 9 goals. Jake Virtanen surprisingly hit 17 goals and 34 points. That's awesome. I did not expect that. Hampus Lindholm there with 29, a pretty decent year, 10 goals. Nasty Nas, 29 points, up to an 85 overall in his sophomore season. That's good. Things are looking good. Adam Lowry, 13 goals. Adam Fox, Adam Larson. I didn't even realize we had 3 Adams on our team. Adam Lowry, Adam Fox, and Adam Larson. Mikheyev, Ty Smith, and Brendan Lemieux. That is your scoring for the Quebec Nordiques. Having a look at attendees, and yes, we'll have a look at Tucker Tynan as well. But 37 and 20 for Askarov. I mean, he did his job. Going into this year, he knew he was going to be splitting time with Tucker Tynan. Unfortunately, things didn't work out quite as planned. Now, he had to be kind of pushed into a starting role, and he actually did pretty damn good. Those numbers are not bad. I'm not going to complain about that. Evan Fitzpatrick, it was a little sketchy, but I mean, 7 and 9 isn't terrible. He had a year of 11 and 12 because he got traded, obviously. So there is your look at the Quebec Nordiques. Now let's have a look around the entire NHL, specifically at a few players, and I do want to have a look at our prospects as well, seeing how they panned out in the AHL and obviously over there in the Western League and all over the CHL. Trevor Wong and Martin Kaut were 1 and 2 in rookie scoring. He's probably going to win the Calder unless there's a really sick Tendy, which I know Askarov is considered a rookie. I don't know if he's going to get Calder nominations, however, I think he should. It is pretty rare for a goalie to win the Calder, but hey, we'll see. Let's hope for the best. And I'm just going to guess here. I'm going to say Bo Alfredson led the league in scoring. Just a guess. And no, it was Tyler Seguin. He was 4th with only 104 points. But Tyler Seguin, Vince Modano, so these guys are just lethal together. Paul Vincenzo, Patrick Kane, Bo Alfredson, Braden Point, and then Evgeny Malkin right there with 98. I mean, that is a pretty insane year. Mikko Rantanen, he had 96 points, matches his jersey number. Oscar Gormley, absolute legend. A lot of 50 goal scorers this year, a ton of them. How many 50 goal scorers? Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 50 goal scorers this year? That's insane. Jamie Benn was a casual plus 55. The top 4 guys, all from Dallas, all plus 45 plus. That's ridiculous. Game-winning goals, just for fun, Paul Vincenzo. Power play goals, again, just for fun. 25 for Bo Alfredson. Definitely got to watch out for him. He led the league with 38 power play points. So note to self, don't take a penalty against Ottawa in the postseason. Okay. That's going to be our game plan. And who led the league in hits just for fun? Max Lafleur, once again, throwing the body around. And who led the league in fights just for fun? Conrad? Was it Conrad? 28, tied with Nasty Nas. Who knew this guy was such a goon? Last year, I think he had like 15 fights or something, but his fighting skill is only like 60% or something. Like, it's not good. What's his fighting skill at? Okay, it's now at a 74, so it's slowly growing, but the guy likes to chuck him. That's awesome. We got 2 tough bastards on our team in Conrad Stastny and Nasty Nas. And just for fun, because this video is going to be a little bit short, who led the AHL in scoring? Just for fun. Sean St. Emmett, he had 90 points, followed by Justin Williams, killing it in the American Hockey League at 41 years old. Same with James Neal, 35. That's ridiculous. Brett Conacher, any other old guys hanging out here? Let's have a look. Nick Patan, Sam Bennett in the AHL. That's weird. Here's how everyone did with Quebec City down there in the American Hockey League. Looking at Spike Helm here, 76 overall. What a year. 67 points, almost 30 goals. That's awesome. Arthur Kaliev, I'm looking for him to come up in the postseason. If there is an injury, he's going to be first on my list to call up. He can pretty much play anywhere. I'm very excited for him. He should make the roster next year. And Quinn Wrights, low elite. What a draft pick this was. He had himself quite a year with 55 points as a rookie. So lots of goal scorers down there in the American Hockey League. I'd love to go ahead and check out how Tucker Tynan did, but I'm going to have to go to the trade screen for that, see how all of our boys down there in junior did, and then we're going to end this bad boy off. But 50, 25, and 7 for your Quebec City Bulldogs. That's not bad. Having a look at Conor Lockhart here. He was our first round pick a few years ago. He ended up having a year of 58 points in 47 games, not bad. I don't think the OHL season is actually over, so he's probably still got a little bit to go. I also want to have a look at Stringer here. He grew to a 68 overall, and he had himself 71 points in 48 games, 35 goals. Again, the season isn't quite over yet, but that's a pretty damn good year. And Tucker Tynan, 82 overall, stuck in junior hockey. He is, let's see, he's 18-8 with one shutout. I mean, he should be playing in the NHL, but that's just classic EA Sports for you. So headed into the postseason, let's have a look at the playoff tree, see what's going on here. We got a classic matchup between Jordan Staal and Sidney Crosby over there, Pittsburgh and Carolina, Philly, Washington. We got Tampa and Boston, which is going to be a bloodbath. And then we got, obviously, us with the Sens, Yotes and Flames, Canucks and Oilers, Stars and Avs, and Wings and Hawks. Nice little original 6 matchup over there in the Western Conference. Thanks for watching, guys. Kind of a shorter episode, but we didn't really have a ton to do. It was kind of ridiculous how William Nylander got traded so many damn times. Now I have to have a look here. I have to see how he did on his new team, which is also from his other new team, Let's see. So he did pretty damn good there in Boston. 16 points in 19 games. Poor guy. Is he on like an expiring contract or something? Okay, maybe that's why he was dealt so many times. But yeah, crazy how that all worked out. Ridiculous. And they have Philip Forsberg on the third line left wing. Okay, that's ridiculous. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.